Our next process is going to be to lift off all the chaff, which is the stuff we don't want, and then reveal all the seeds, and then we'll winnow those seeds to get them super clean. But they're all there, I promise you. My name is Chris Smith, and I'm the Executive Director of the Utopian Seed Project. And we also work collaboratively on a project called the Heirloom Collard Project. And this Ultra Cross project is kind of like a beautiful synthesis of Utopian Seed Project, the Heirloom Collard Project, and Ujamaa. Okay, so we are here today to process a whole bunch of collard seeds. Pretty excited to partner with Living Web this last year. Pat grew a whole bunch of this really diverse population of collards called the Ultra Cross, where we had about 21 different heirloom varieties all intercross, saved those seeds and then planted them out. And basically we just had this like enormous diversity in the field, so it was really, really beautiful. Pat had a few different selection criteria that he was going for in terms of the purples and the late bolting, and we've just had a real good opportunity to do a lot of regional seed selection to adapt them to our specific environments and our specific wants. And now, well, he planted them a year ago, so it takes a whole year to get around to actually dried collard seeds. And we're here with a big pile of dried collards. They're super crispy because they've actually been in like an air-conditioned space, so that makes seed saving really easy. And the process that we're going to show you today is a threshing process where basically we're just trying to obliterate the collards and get the seeds to release from the pods. They're already doing that naturally. There's a whole bunch of seeds already on the ground, but we're going to thoroughly thresh them so that we get all of the seeds out. And then we're going to take that threshed material and we need to clean it up so that we get a nice dry seed. So we're going to use a combination of winnowing, and we'll show you like a fan winnowing process, and screens. And usually with screens and fans combined, you can get seeds super, super clean. At that point, we'll have a big batch of dried seeds, and that's where we can start the process over again by planting them, or sharing them at seed swaps, or sharing them with friends, or selling them through seed companies. To make today super special, we have Ujamaa Cooperative Farming Alliance with us. So we've got Bonita over here helping, and a few of her crew, and they are a new BIPOC-led seed company and farming alliance that is doing lots of exciting stuff. I'm hoping Bonita will be able to tell you a little bit more about it. And Bonita has been one of the people that have been pushing the Ultra Cross and selling the seeds through her catalog, so that more people all over the country can be growing this climate resilient, adaptive population of collard seeds. The chains or whatever you want, really. Very low tech.
That's my favorite thing.
Low tech, right? Yeah, you do some pretty high tech stuff too.
Yeah, but I basically leave all the tech stuff to other people. I'm real good with light.
And then the main thing I'm finding out, I think I want to file up.
Japanese, I do this giant thing.
There's some weight in that tarp.
Yeah. So the theory with this, so what we'll do now, we'll maybe like scoop our way the top 8 inches and put it somewhere.
On this side of the tarp ought to be dry.
Oh, there you go. And then we'll shake and scoop, and we should get to a point where we've got most of the big stuff out and we're just left with lighter chaff and then a lot of seeds. And then we'll move to on the top.
Okay, it's slightly damp. Does that matter?
It should so gentle from the top is the theory. So kind of like giving any seeds that are still got in there a chance to fall. But there shouldn't really be that many. At the very top layer, let's take a few there. Let's do another shake. We'll do do another shake to get them, make sure they're always falling to the bottom.
Do the same thing again, right?
Yeah, same thing, yeah. Top layer. And this is where the screen can be nice because you can basically just dump them into the screen and shake them out and separate that way. We just don't have any big screens with us today. But a big screen would be a good a good option here.
Quarter-inch, right?
I use quarter-inch for this level because you're not trying to get it clean. You're just trying to separate all the big stuff so you can do a decent winnowing. The problem with winnowing, if you have a whole bunch of chaff, is the chaff hits the seeds, and so you end up losing a whole bunch of seeds. You're trying to get most of that out. Our next process is going to be to lift off all the chaff, which is the stuff we don't want, and then reveal all the seeds, and then we'll winnow those seeds to get them super clean. But they're all there, I promise you.
Anyway, sorry.
And so it would be no different if we had massive screens, it would just be quicker. That's really all we're talking about.
For the scale we've been on so far, they've been fine, but the scale we want to get to, they're not going to be very good.
So we wrote a grant, we didn't get it from our window machine. Hopefully we'll get it in the next one.
Right, just got to keep trying with grants.
Yeah, it's a numbers game. You know, they just,
They're this tall.
you know, see how the wind takes off the chaff? So that's what,
No, I think we'll be
you
good on
know,
the bench.
the wheat being separated from the chaff, that's the biblical terms. So it's the same thing. The wind carried them out. So when I'm just cleaning a handful at home, I just literally blow on them.
You need electricity?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the chaff comes off.
Can you do one for me with two hands?
We'll mobile to blow the mix of seeds and chaff, which blows away the chaff because it's lighter and the seeds fall straight down. But with this 3-bucket system, it gives us the added advantage that we can also separate the seeds by weight, and generally the lighter seeds are less viable because they're not fully developed. So I think of them then as like my grade A seeds. So these are the ones that Ujama might sell. And these are the ones that I might put into a cover crop mix, and these are the ones that I might do a food product with if that was an option. Because they're less likely to
So
germinate
that would
really
be
well.
most likely for okra, you know, to have a food product
That type of thing, yeah.
Or used for animal feed.
Animal feed, yeah, that type of thing, yeah. So that's the general process. And anything that blows off completely is more than likely not viable at all. Although this is where the fan system is a little bit different. Like the higher the fan and the longer the drop, the more opportunity for the wind to blow the seeds. And so we're quite close here, so we're unlikely to get much blow off. But it does mean we're more likely to capture unviable seeds or more chaff. And then also the fan has different settings, right? So you can do lower settings, higher settings. And so with different size seeds, different height drops, you can play around with those settings until you dial it in. So usually with this setup, you have to run it through a couple of times. With things like the Winnow Wizard, where you can go a very accurate settings, you should just be able to run it through once and know that what you've got is what you've got, type of thing. I've taken the front screen off this, so just be careful if you're using this because there's no protector on the fan. I just do that. I think it gives it a more even flow. Like it tends to put a big circle in the middle on that protector, and so the seeds that drop right in the middle don't get the same access to airflow. So I take it off, but please be careful.
Probably also creating turbulence, which you don't really want.
Yeah. You want like as even as drop as possible, and then you see this a lot of times. People will take a bucket and pour a bucket in front, and so that gives you like a column of seeds falling down. And so again, they're not getting equal access to that air. because the ones back here will blow and then knock these ones off, which will fly. And so we use something like this to give more of a veil feeding, and so they can fall more like a gentle veil and have more equal, like, kind of access to the air. So you get a little bit of a better product. Now we still do have a fair bit of chaff, and so what we might see on the first run through is the chaff might knock some of the seeds out to the later buckets. So what we might end up doing, if we see a lot of seeds in there, we run that one through again, just to be sure we're not ditching viable seeds.
This is dirty.
They came from the same one, just here. I might have to do it just because of the width here. I'm looking at the drop. Let's try it and see. I don't want to lose seeds to either side. Generally, I start off on the conservative setting and then crank it up if I feel like we're getting too much chaff. Always blows my mind how effective that is.
But see, I'm keeping this.
But because they're all different varieties, then you might have some bigger seeds and smaller seeds.
Okay, so
No, that's not working. The white stuff is still coming.
Yeah.
That'll just be a final winnow. All right.
Yeah. The real tiny stuff is easy to winnow off. It's this bigger chunks that's not going through the winnow that we want to capture in the screen. Very little seed, and this is the second one.
It didn't look like much was getting in there.
Yeah.
Not much is coming out now, right?
yeah, not much.
Okay, so now we'll put this here. Yeah, definitely a different size.
Oops. Learning, because I mean, you know, after the more you manage these seeds, the more you begin to differentiate.
I'll make it a point to start a flat that's got rows of this and rows of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'll mark them, and that way we'll see what comes up, okay?
We'll see.
Yeah.
So we are so fortunate to have had the expertise of Chris and Benita here to process our collards. You saw the video, the pile was pretty intimidating. The method I was using was pretty slow, and now I know how to do it really quickly. This project started for me last fall when Chris said, hey, to everybody on the, I forget which listserv it was, it might have been your own, but a couple different listservs. I've got flats of collards that I'm giving away for people to grow, and I said, I'll take one. And he wrote back to me and said, would you take 500? 500, not flats, but 500 plants.
Yeah.
And I said, sure. And we put them in. We put them in lots of different places. Where they did really well was in our Grandview Greenhouse, and we've got videos of that. You can see that, and this is the purple selection from there. And today, they all came out and helped us to turn that big, intimidating pile of seed pods into 8 pounds of probably prime Ultra Cross collard seed. I am so excited about the ongoing project here. More selection, adding a few more in this year. We're going to be starting a couple of different ones to add in this year, right?
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing with the Ultra Cross is you're not fixed to any one, what this specific collard is, so we can keep bringing in more varieties. We're selecting for cold tolerance, we're selecting for taste, we're selecting for beautiful diversity, and so it's really nice to see like this quantity of seeds coming out of the project, because basically we had that massive pile of seeds, we threshed them all with the drill, and that was the sped up the process that Pat was talking about, and that was really nice. We were using fairly small screens, so we slowed down a little bit there, but you could easily scale that up by using bigger screens to screen away a lot of that chaff, and then we were left with that mix of seeds and lighter chaff, and that's where we use the fan to winnow it. And then once you get down to that stage of like using the wind to blow away most of the chaff and you get into a pretty good point, then you're basically combining screens and a little bit of fan winnowing to get to a point where the seeds are like this. There's still a little bit of chaff in there, so maybe if you're selling it to a seed company, you'd have to go through one more separation. We talked about a zigzag winnower, which we could link to as an online design that's very effective at the final cleaning. But for home use and for us, and this is really what you need to have a seed that can be stored for the long term and certainly planted again next year.
These purple collards were started with seed that was way less clean than this, and they did fine.
Yeah.
And I am so grateful to be here today. We are reclaiming our lost heritage of seed saving and seed farming. So Ujamaa Farms is working with Chris and Pat. These are two of our dear friends. Our goal is to find things that are culturally meaningful and make those seeds available to communities. We also want farmers to have access to these individual varieties. So among the Ultra Cross 21 varieties, more added to it. We are particularly excited about this one because we know our girls love pink. And so Pat's gonna continue to work with this. We are gonna pull out pink selections. We're looking for pink and purple. And the goal is to make people love and excited about their vegetables. That's what we're trying to do. We are en route to the Federation of Southern Collectives Conference, where we're going to be talking to farmers, black farmers, about seed saving. We're going to be also visiting collectives and our partners as we travel around the southern states. And we're going to be talking about this, reclaiming this heritage, stewarding these seeds, and making them available for future generations. We never plan to lose this tradition again. And of course, Chris is helping us, and Pat is showing us the way. Beautiful partnerships. So you can find out more at Ujamaa Farms if you're interested in joining our effort, ujamaafarms.com, or you can go to Ujamaa Seeds and purchase some of this amazing biodiversity. And when you buy seeds from us, you're supporting our mission to reclaim our heritage.